Welcome in. My name is Barry Sesty, your Cape Coral real estate agent, and I have a passion for educating you on the topic of real estate here in the Cape Coral area. Now, today is June 1st, 2023, and that means that it's time to test the market, to take the temperature of the Cape Coral real estate market, and to determine if now is a great time to buy, a great time to sell, or maybe it's time to just sit on the sidelines and watch. Now we're going to take a look back of the last 31 days, May 2023. We're going to compare that to 90 days back, February 2023, and also 1 year back to May 2022. Now, if you like this content, go and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome in. You're going to want to subscribe as I put out a lot of useful information on the topic of real estate here in the Cape Coral market. Now, the first thing we want to look at, let's dive right in. The first thing we're going to look at is market indicators. Market indicators are very important in the education process. In order to read the market, you have to know what you're looking at. So the first indicator we look at is inventory. How many houses are available for sale at the current moment? Inventory tells us supply and demand. If there's a lot of inventory available and not much demand, that means prices are going to go down. If there's not much inventory available and there's a lot of demand, that means prices are going to go up. And that's what we saw in 2021 and the first part of 2022. Now, the next thing we look at is median price. We always want to gauge the median price. Is it going up or is it going down? Now, typically over time, the median price continues to go up, but it can vary from month to month. So that helps us gauge the market as well. Next thing we look at is days on the market. How long is it from the time that house is listed on the MLS to the time that it goes under contract? Now, days on market can give us a good indication of, is the market hot or is it cold? How much time do you have to think about putting that offer in? Like last year in 2022, 2021, people didn't have much time. If they saw a house that they liked and it was priced well, there were 20 offers that went in on that house. Now today it's a little different because we have a little more time to look at the home, make that decision, but it's still below average. So we still want to make sure that when we're looking at a home, if we find one that we like and it's priced right, you want to act quickly. Next thing we look at is closed sales. How many houses are selling month over month? Now, the higher the number means the bigger demand. If we're selling a lot of houses in Cape Coral, that means the demand is very high. So let's go ahead and jump into the numbers for May 2023. First numbers we're going to look at is the active inventory. So May 2023, you had 1,638 homes available. Now that was May 31st. I look at the last day of the month, how many homes are available on the market on that day. Looking back at February 2023, we had 1,768. So that tells me that the market has been decreasing. The available inventory is decreasing, which means less supply. Now, May 2022, right towards the height of the real estate market. I think we hit the top in April, and then interest rates started going up last year. And so we started to see it come back down a little bit, but we only had 1,496 homes available for sale in May of 2022. Now, as we went into the summer last year, we saw that number increase quite a bit because a lot of people realized that we were at the end of the gold rush of real estate and they all wanted to sell their houses very quickly. So we saw the inventory increase through September. Now, this chart down here shows you May 2022 and how inventory increased like we just talked about. And then at the hurricane, we lost some houses, but then it started to decrease a little bit. We leveled out a little bit in November, December, January, March. Then we had season. And when people come in for season, a lot of homes get sold. But we also had a lot of inventory come on the market at that time as well. And now we're starting to see that inventory continue to drop. Next up, we're going to look at the median price. Median price tells us a lot about the value of the homes. Are they going up or are they going down? Now, median price for May 2023 was $420,000. Now, the median price point means that if you took 50% of the houses that sold in the month of May, 50% would be higher than $420,000 and 50% would be lower than $420,000. Now, February, we were at $419,999, so about $420,000. And back in May 2022, we were at $455,000 was the median price point. So Down here, looking at the chart, we can see what was going on. In May, we hit our peak, and then it started to drop through the summer as we had a lot of inventory come onto the market. People were starting to sit out. They were waiting to see what was going on with the interest rates. And then we had a horrible hurricane, Hurricane Ian, and things started to take a turn. What happened then, though, is we had limited supply. A lot of homes were damaged in the hurricane, and people needed homes. People that had lost their homes needed to find a home. And so the price point went quite a bit higher in October. And then once we got things sorted out a little bit, we started getting some more homes back on the market. We started to see the prices bottom out in November, December, January. We bottomed out at about 400,000. And then as we moved into the first part of this year until today, we started to see prices jump up a little bit to the $420,000, $425,000 range. Now, what do we see happening in the next 3 months throughout the summer? We expect prices to continue to rise, not a ton, but they will continue to rise as more demand hits the market. Summer is a great time to buy a house here in Cape Coral, and many people come down and want to buy the house. And with our lack of inventory, we will see home prices continue to go up a little bit for the next 3 months. Days on the market. Now, days on the market means how much time do you have available to make that decision. Now, May 2022 was just 7 days on the market before it went under contract. That was the average. That was the median. That's incredible. Now, May 2023, it's at 25 days. February 2023 was a little bit longer at 29 days. Now, we typically want to see this number for a neutral market to be at least 30 days on the market. So we're still below the typical 30 days on the market at 25 days on the market, meaning that it is still a seller's market, just by a little bit. We can see the chart down here where we were back in May 2022 as interest rates started going up. People started backing out of the market. We started to see that get longer and longer. And then, of course, December and January, we hit our peak and we're dropping right back down again. Do I think it'll go much lower than 25 days on the market? No, I believe it'll stay right there throughout the summer. And then as we head into the fall, it may go a little bit lower, but I believe it'll stay about that same number for the next several months. Next up, we have closed sales. How many sales closed in the month of May? So May 2023, we had 458 homes sell, which is a great number. I mean, that's a huge number. We're very happy with that number. That tells us that there's still a lot of demand in the area. February 2023, we were still ramping up from the hurricane. We had 373 sold. And May 2022, we had 616 homes sell in Cape Coral in the month of May 2022. That number is much higher than the average number, but we were seeing much higher numbers back in the first part of 2022. So we can go down to the chart here and we'll see May 2022. And then as we went through the summer, it started dropping because interest rates were jumping up. People were getting a little concerned. They were starting to sit on the sideline. And then, of course, the hurricane hit and that took a lot of homes off the market because they were damaged. So we didn't see a lot of sales in the month of October. And then as we are coming back, we're starting to see that number go up and through season. We had a good solid season this year of close to 400 or 500 homes sell per month. Now let's jump on to other key numbers, other numbers that to be aware of that are very important to pay attention to when you're looking to buy a house. You need to know these numbers. First is, of course, the median sales price per square foot. Now, this takes into account all the homes in Cape Coral. That's dry lots, that's homes on Gulf access canals, but this is the median price point. Now, just to give you an idea, you can get a great home here in Cape Coral for $200 a square foot, dry lot, maybe in the northern part of Cape Coral. But the other end of the spectrum is if you want a Gulf access canal in Southwest Cape Coral or Southeast Cape Coral, you're going to be paying $500 a square foot. So just depending on the type of property that you're looking for, you take that into account. But anywhere from 246 is the median. List price received. This number tells us from the price that was listed at to the price that it's sold at, what's the percentage? This number is still pretty high. It's 98.4%. Now, during the gold rush last year in 2021, we were seeing that number over 100%. People were offering above asking price. Now, the median or the average person is getting it just a little bit below asking price. meaning that it's starting to shift back the other way, but still definitely a seller's market, leaning towards a neutral market. New listings hitting the market. In the month of May, we had 690 new homes hit the market. And we've been seeing numbers like that for the last few months, meaning that we're still seeing a lot of homes being put up for sale. Now, not as many as we've seen in the past, but sellers are still selling, and it is a great time to sell because we're still getting great prices for those homes. Now, months of inventory, and this is kind of something to watch as well. Month of inventory. How many, if we didn't list another house right now, how long would it take for the current houses to sell out or for us not to have any more homes available? And it's currently at 3.2 months. Now, a neutral market would be at about 6 months. So we're still well below where we have been in the past. So 3.2 months is fairly low. But where we were at just a year and a half ago, we were just over 1 month of inventory. So we're moving back towards a neutral place. So the next question is, now the time to buy here in Cape Coral, Florida? And I look at different indicators. I don't just look at the real estate market, but I look at other areas of the economy to understand what's happening out there. And I know the media likes to paint a very bad, negative picture of what's happening in the real estate market. It's falling apart, it's crashing, it's horrible, it's 2008 all over again. But that's not the case. The numbers are not telling us that. We're still seeing a lot of demand here in Cape Coral. We're still seeing prices stay high. I mean, they dropped probably about 8 to 10% from last April to December, and then they started coming back again. So is now the time to buy? The first number I want to look at is inflation. Inflation peaked at 9.1% in June of 2022. That's when we were at the all-time high, or the highest point in the recent history was 9.1%. Currently, it's sitting at 4.9%. So we have come down substantially. Things are starting to be more affordable. People will understand that the market is starting to correct itself, starting to level out. Next thing we look at is interest rates. Interest rates peaked at 7.24%. Now that's a large number, a much higher number than the 3% they were at just a year and a half ago. But what we're seeing is they're averaging out, they're leveling out at about the 7%, high 6s to low 7s. And they've been like that for the last several months. Now these interest rates are still relatively low when you look at the average interest rate for the last 30 years. Now what's happening is people are becoming more and more comfortable with these interest rates, understanding that this is where we're at, this is the times, and they're accepting that. And so they're starting to jump back in the market. As more and more people jump back into the market, home prices will start to rise because demand will start to go up. So right now is a great time to buy. If you've always wanted to buy in Cape Coral, you've been watching the Cape Coral market, you think you really want to have that home here in Cape Coral, but you're waiting for interest rates to go back down, that may not happen. If it does happen, great. And when that does happen, you can refinance and get that great rate. But right now, because interest rates are sitting slightly higher than they have been for a while, you have the opportunity to buy a home at a lower price point. Take advantage of that opportunity once interest rates, because there's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines. Once those rates start to go down, if ever, a lot of people are going to start to jump back in the market. And if they never go down, people are just becoming more and more comfortable with the current interest rates, and they are starting to jump back into the market. Next up is unemployment. We're sitting at 3.4% on unemployment in the country. That's the lowest it's been in the last 54 years. That's incredible. Our job market is strong. We have a great job market here in the Cape Coral and Fort Myers area. And more people are coming here to work, and more corporations are starting to pay attention, and they're starting to move their businesses here to the area, creating a great economic economy here in the Cape Coral area. Next up, we look at supply. Now, we talked about the current inventory is 1,638 single-family homes available here in the Cape Coral area, or Cape Coral city limits. Now, May 2018, we had over 2,600 homes available. And that was a fairly decent market back in 2018. So that's just to put into perspective that we still have extremely low inventory. And we don't expect that to really jump too much over the next several months. It may even decrease once we get into the summer and towards the end of the summer. Now demand. Cape Coral is on fire. Cape Coral is one of the fastest growing cities. Everybody wants to be in Cape Coral, Florida. People from Chicago, New York, Indianapolis, Minneapolis, all over Boston. They're coming down. They're coming down from Canada. We're seeing people come to the Cape Coral area from all over. Why are they coming here? Cape Coral has a great way of lifestyle of living. We've got great restaurants, great outdoors activities. We also have the beautiful, amazing canals here, great fishing. Where else in the country can you get a home for $800,000 right on a Gulf access canal where you can park your boat right in the backyard and drift right on out to the Gulf of Mexico for a day trip, sit on a beach, drink some margaritas, and relax. It's a great area to be. A lot of people are taking notice, and we are one of the fastest growing cities in the United States. With that being said, our population is estimated now at 216,000. We've grown quite a bit over the last 3 years. And in the next 7 years, we're expected to hit 250,000. That's projected. If we keep on the same pace that we're moving, we're going to hit that 250,000 mark, no problem. We've got a lot of space in the north of Cape Coral to build out. But in the southern part of Cape Coral, southeast, southwest, most of that's been built out. There are a few lots available for building homes here and there, but most of that has been built out, keeping prices high in those areas. And that concludes our market report for Cape Coral, Florida for the month of May 2023. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this market update with me. I hope you found it beneficial. I hope you found it useful. I aim to be a resource for you to help you find the perfect home to purchase or sell here in the Cape Coral area. I specialize in helping people find second homes, relocation, and new construction, as well as Gulf access homes here in the Cape Coral area. I look forward to being your resource, to being your help. Go ahead and contact me. Take a picture of the screen. Also, if you take a picture of the QR code, it'll take you right to my contact information as well. Look forward to chatting with you, making realty dreams a reality.